Good afternoon, friends. I just need to draw your attention to three issues in security. As you are all aware that the level of threat is continuously increasing to the oil sector particularly. And recently there has been an incident where one of the contracted laborers was arrested by the police. And this labor was working in that refinery for a long time, and his character and antecedents were also verified, and then he was given an access card. Now this throws very interesting developments. I have been continuously saying that we should not depend totally on this character and antecedents verification, because there are a lot of loopholes in this. Secondly, we must not depend on outside sources to help us assess any mischievous elements inside our organization. There has to be a system of internal intelligence where we must keep under check, particularly this contract labor part, because I have always been very worried about this contract labor. This is a very large chunk of more or less unverified people. The contractor also, in his honest desire to finish the work early, keeps on changing labor force. The labor also keep on going away. This particular person who was arrested in the last 1 month, he had attended his work only for 5 days. Now, point of internal intelligence is that we must keep some kind of observation on these contractors and the labor, where we can see which are the elements which could be suspicious. It's a difficult task because the numbers is quite huge, but to some extent we may succeed if we, all of us, the regular employees, the supervisory staff, they keep it. This is very important. Unless otherwise we are able to know the mischievous elements inside, it may be very difficult for us to prevent any serious damage. The second issue is regarding pipeline infiltration.
Once we take the certificate of police, how do we do that? Because police has to verify.
See, outside external verification we take from the police, but as I have been repeating, what is character and antecedent verification? We get a form filled by the person concerned himself. He gives an address. Now, this is given to the local police station. Local police station sends it to his home address police station. They verify, and the verification is only that there is nothing criminal on the records against him. Because every police station maintains a set of criminal records. As per various court decisions, we cannot suspect a person unless he is convicted. So even if he has been arrested in a particular case, the police will say that there is nothing against him on the police records, because he is presumed innocent. Now when we get this kind of verification, we may feel a little better that he is a verified person. But my point is that we should not totally accept this kind of verification as if a person is stealing, particularly in the case of these contracts. Yeah. That is what I said, that there are thousands of labor in the projects, but when we see, we may be able to categorize that some of them are mischievous, not like this person. He comes for 2 days, he absent for 5 days, he again comes for 2 days. That means something is going on. What is the reason why he is skipping this in between? Now this gentleman also, I am told that he was, earlier few months he was attending almost 25 days in a month. Last month he attended only 5 days in a month. Now whether he was ill or he had gone somewhere, or what was the reason he is not attending. I mean, to whatever extent it's possible. I understand that the large number of contract labor is not possible to keep at much. But every small thing counts. Little bit kind of character and antecedent verification may also help to give us some kind of security to some extent. Then in addition, if we have a system of internal intelligence, we have some, I don't suspect all the labor. There must be some contractors who have been for a some labor will be for a long time. Then these people can be used to collect some kind of intelligence, to keep a watch, an observation of some kind, which will help us to whatever degree. I mean, it cannot be 100%, but to whatever degree. Maybe by following the system, we may come across somebody who is not good to be kept in the premises. That's what my point is. Then next issue which I want to discuss is the pilferage from pipelines. See, pipelines in course of time, naturally the length will keep on increasing. And in the absence of alternate fuel to the small industry, most of this small unorganized industry which is coming up in the country in a rapid manner, they have to depend on some kind of energy requirement. The earlier source of wood, coal, etc. is now no longer a economical issue. So they are going in for buying this crude oil, which provides them a good source of fuel. And since the demand is there, naturally it will result in a lot of pilferage and thefts and this kind of thing. We are trying through the police, whatever possible, to make the offence more serious, to register under more serious sections of law. I have been writing to everybody that we should insist on getting cases registered. One of the excuses that the police says is that we are not given the quantity of a product stolen, so we register a case only under attempt to theft. So attempt to theft is a very ordinary offence and which results in bail in the police station itself, and ultimately nothing happens. What I would suggest is that even if we can't quantify the exact loss, we could make a mention of maybe 2 tankers lost, 3 tankers lost. Nobody is going to verify what is the quantity of loss. Now, if we give them a quantity, rough quantity loss, then they will register a case under theft, and then other sections will automatically be applied. That is one. Now, once a serious case is registered, the police will also be bound to follow up these cases and to take them to a logical conclusion. The second issue is that we get a case registered, but after that we just don't bother to find out what is going on with the case. Since it is our problem, I would suggest that we should also take some interest in following up what is happening to the case and to take it to a logical conclusion. Some serious cases, we could even help the prosecution in taking up the case in the court of law. That is one area. Second area we can discuss, presently we have a system of line workers. I don't know how effective it is. Personally speaking, I don't think it is effective at all. Only thing it can do is maybe next day in the morning it can tell us that there is some pilferage and there is some leakage. We are in the process, the pipeline also we discussed in the process of having some sensor system which would give an alarm. That may prove to be very expensive because putting up such sensors and alarm systems with the entire line may be very expensive. But we can again think of revising this lane worker system. We could, instead of having lane workers maybe walking over 8 kilometers every day, we could probably lump them together and put them in certain places as a team and provide them with some motorcycle or wireless system which would be more effective. Maybe it could come within the same cost which we are spending now. Some system like this would be more effective because they have to be quick, they have to be, reach the spot whenever we get a warning or dinner alarm. We can work it out. Because ultimately we will have to work out some system. The way the length of pipelines is increasing, the way the desire for cheap energy is increasing by the small unorganized sector, I think we are going to have a serious problem of pilferage on our hands. The last issue which I want to bring to your notice is about procurement of security. There has been a lot of awareness of depending more on CCTV cameras. And recently also there was a serious complaint in which it has been mentioned that the tender has been lopsided to favor one particular company. When we go in for such systems, my request is that in case corporate security department is consulted with our experience, with our technical consultant, we would be able to give you a specific and a better advice. That would help you to at least not depend totally on the vendors. Yeah, sometimes I have seen that the vendor, they, in their eagerness to palm off their product, they try to boast a lot about their product and we get carried away and trapped into their salesmanship. So whenever security equipment procurement is required, then I will be too happy to assist you in getting the best product. And I think our security system is very good, so we don't really have any reason to be frightened or threatened, but we can further improve it. Thank you.
I just wanted to, you had over case we are registered recently and some people have got. You can really pursue that and if some punishment can be given, that will be a deterrent to others. And I don't know how far it is correct. I think by giving the publicity on these theft cases, more theft cases are coming. So probably people thought this is a potential area of earning the money. And only we should give the negative kind of publicity more, where they are going to catch and give the punishment. And rest we should talk on rather than going to press and all on one-to-one basis.
I agree with you, sir. But here if you find these cases in Palwal, where these people have been caught, it is very interesting to note that these people are from Gujarat. Now, what is happening is that when the Gujarat police puts little pressure, these people shifted to Rajasthan. When we again try to approach Rajasthan, they also put pressure, they have now shifted to Haryana. If you see the figures, now in the last 6 months, there has been a tremendous spurt of such cases in Haryana, whereas in Gujarat and Rajasthan, it is very under control. Now, this entire line from Maharashtra up to Punjab, this is dotted with small industrialized areas. And these are the industrialized areas which use this fuel. In one of the cases, these tankers, crude oil tankers were brought to Delhi. In Navjoy, they were being transferred into drums. And these drums were to be sold in Govinda.
That will be if you are able to locate where they were selling.
What we are trying now, sir, after a discussion with you also, earlier also, what is the source? After all, the tankers come from somewhere. Who are the owners of these tankers? That is one. Where are they being sold? Because if we are able to squeeze the buyer as well, because as per now, even buyer is guilty of buying stolen property. So if we are able to squeeze the buyer, then also it will be helpful. We are trying this, and the officer, I would request them that number one, they could liaise with the local police to carry out some kind of night checking on the highways. These tankers cannot go on small roads, they must use the highways. And in one of the checks in Shahjahanpur, I remember 4 tankers were caught red-handed. The tanker carried registration number of Maharashtra. These people were from Gujarat. They did this theft in Rajasthan. And one of the tankers was brought to Delhi to transfer crude into drums. And it was meant for sale in Mandi Govinda and Punjab. Now imagine the racket. Right from Maharashtra up to Punjab, this is not a small crime. So we must take it seriously, and our officers in the field, the moment they come to know it, I would be grateful if I am also informed. In fact, this Palwal theft, I came to know only through the chairman. When he asked me about the theft, I was absolutely blank. So then I tried to find out where it has happened and how. Then I got in touch with the Haryana police. I am also likely to hold a meeting with the Chief Secretary Haryana to try and put a clamp down on these kind of things in there. We are